Hello everyone, and welcome back to Japan Labor Rights. I am your host, Natsumi Higa. Today, we're tearing down one of the most insidious, morale-destroying practices in Japan's workplaces. SITS, the quiet theft of your time and your life. We are talking about service, Zangyo, unpaid overtime. If you have ever been told, just stay a little later, let's finish this before you clock out, or show some dedication, this video is your legal armor. Hello, everyone. Natsumi Higa here. Take a moment and think. When you leave work, do you feel tired from working? Or tired from pretending you aren't working? That deep sinking exhaustion you feel isn't just from a long day. It's the constant tension between your true feeling that you should be paid for the work you do, and the company's suffocating tateme, the public face of corporate dedication and team spirit. When you're told to finish a report after clocking out, that's not dedication. That is wage theft. It is service Zangyo. Service Zangyo is the hidden burden on every worker's back. It's the time you spend cleaning your desk, attending optional morning meetings, or waiting for a boss to leave, all off the clock. And let's be blunt, this pressure is often gendered. Women in particular are often expected to endure this silently, perhaps framed as showing gratitude for being hired, or being the caring, supportive member who prepares things for the next day, always off the record. This expectation to be soft and accommodating while working for free is a form of workplace abuse. But listen to me, your time is not a gift you owe your company. It is a commodity they must purchase. How do black companies enforce service Zangyo? They don't use a contract. They use culture and fear. They create a trap of verbal manipulation. Rihashone. It's Japanese culture. Your manager tells you, we all do this. It's part of the Japanese work ethic. Shokuba, no bunka. This is a flat-out lie. The Labor Standards Act Rōdō Kijun-hō is the law of the land, not some manager's definition of culture. The law protects you, regardless of whether your grandfather worked 16 hours a day. Lie hashtu. You need to show sekinin, responsibility. They say the work is your responsibility to finish, implying that if you can't complete it in 8 hours, it's a personal failure, not a systemic understaffing issue. This forces you to clock out and continue working, sacrificing your pay to save your professional face. Lie #3. If you claim overtime, we'll have to cut your bonus. This is intimidation. They are using your legitimate right to compensation as a negotiating chip. This is unethical and often legally retaliatory. The mental toll of believing these lies is devastating. It turns you against yourself. You start thinking, am I too slow? Should I just endure it? That self-blame is exactly what the black company wants. They outsource the enforcement of service Zangyo to your own conscience. Now for the legal shield. The truth is simple. Under the Labor Standards Act, if you are working, you must be paid. There are no exceptions for dedication, responsibility, or culture. The law defines working hours, Rōdō Jikan, as any time the worker is under the express or implied direction and command of the employer. Implied command. This is the critical point. Even if your boss doesn't explicitly say work for free, if the required tasks cannot realistically be completed within standard hours, or if you are expected to stay until a manager leaves, it is considered work under the company's implied command. The law is clear. Article 37 of the Labor Standards Act mandates that any work exceeding the statutory standard hours, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, must be compensated at a legally defined premium rate. Service Zangyo is a direct violation of this article. What is not work? Genuine, voluntary activity, such as socializing with co-workers without any required work-related function. is not work, but waiting for a client, preparing materials, or mandatory training, even if after clocking out, is absolutely compensated work. Your employer cannot simply tell you to clock out and keep working. If they force you to work for free, they are committing wage theft. And you have the right to claim up to 2 years of back pay, plus a potential Ishario compensation, solaceum for the emotional and mental stress this illegal act has caused you. You can fight back. But to win, you must understand the language of the court and the Rōki Labor Standards Inspection Office. Evidence shoko. Do not quit yet. If you quit, you lose immediate access to your workplace to gather proof. Stay, be professional, and execute this strategy. The 3 steps to collecting evidence. First, the time-stamping log. Keep a detailed private diary. Rōdō Kijun-hō. Record the following every day. The time you arrived, the time you actually stopped working, and a brief, neutral description of the work performed during the service Zangyo period. For example, prepared PPT for tomorrow's meeting, responded to VP Tanaka's email. Second, digital proof. Use your personal phone to take pictures of evidence. The company's login/logout screens showing the discrepancy. Emails or messages from managers instructing you to work late or finish a task before you leave after clock out. If possible, use an audio recorder, for example a voice memo app, to capture conversations where a manager instructs you to work off the clock. Third, third-party consultation. Once your evidence is solid, you have 2 powerful options. Consult Hello Work or the Rōki. The Rōki is the police for labor law. They will investigate if you present sufficient evidence. They are free and confidential. Or, join a labor union. A union, especially a community union, can negotiate on your behalf without the company being allowed to retaliate. This often yields faster results. Remember, the company controls the official records. You must create your own unimpeachable evidence to prove the official record is a lie. Service Zangyo is not a tradition. It is not responsibility. It is theft, plain and simple. And it is illegal under the Labor Standards Act. Do not let your company steal your time, your money, and your peace. Your private life, your family, your hobbies, your rest is worth more than your boss's bottom line. Your legal rights are your armor. You have the right to be paid for every minute you work. You have the right to your own time. Knowledge is your armor. Subscribe to Japan Labor Rights to survive the Japanese workplace. Share this video with a coworker who needs to hear this truth. If you are currently suffering from service Zangyo, all the time to start your Rōdō Nikki is right now. Go gather your proof. Get back what they stole from you. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next video.